This is WFO Radio.
Hey everybody, Joe Costello back with you. Another week of WFO Radio. If you're a new listener, a first-time listener, thank you so much for checking in, logging on, watching the show, whether on YouTube or Twitter or Twitch or wherever you happen to get WFO Radio, our website. Thank you so much for checking it out. I'm very excited about today. Now, those of you who follow our schedule know we typically don't do shows on Monday, but we're all headed to Vegas this week. And our guest, Greg Anderson, Pro Stock's winningest driver, he's headed out as well. So we decided to put the show on Monday, and hopefully you'll share the show. You'll share it on all those Pro Stock pages on Facebook, wherever. And let's get the word out as we have our 98th winner view with Greg Anderson just seconds from now. And all you people in social media, by all means, get ready, get tuned in, get logged on. Now, I do want to thank the people who make it possible for me to do this show. We'll have Alan Reinhardt at 1 o'clock tomorrow, Ron Capps Wednesday. So we got a full week of WFO before I head out to Vegas for what, feels like 47 days. It's going to be great. Folks at Total Seal Piston Rings. Reminder, Friday, at the track, if you have a ticket to the race, you can go to the Total Seal Trackside Tech Talk, which have been very popular. I have enjoyed them. I've seen Greg at more than one, so he must enjoy it. It's a lot of information, though. If you're an engine builder or a racer or someone who is interested, you definitely want to come. If you have a ticket to the race on Friday, Trackside Tech Talk, 1 p.m., I believe is the time. TotalSeal.com. Check out the website. Got great products, simple as that. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology, educating the future of drag racing and motorsports and aerospace and space and all of these things coming up through Samtech.edu. You can't have a good engine without a good machinist. That's what I'm learning. It's a big thing, very important. Samtech.edu. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure, FrankHawley.com. If you want to drive a dragster, hey, you want to get your license, this is the way to go. Become a champion race car driver. Even better, have a great Christmas gift for someone you love that loves drag racing. Nailed it right there. Gifts for the holidays. Yeah, courses start at $399. But to me, that's just a home run gift for someone you love or someone who does a great job for you. Go to FrankHawley.com. Get them the gift. They decide where they go, when they go, all that stuff. But they'll be blown away. And that's it, FrankHawley.com. And then my buddy Marvin Rodak, who roasts up that great coffee fresh per your order, Fort Worth, Texas. And that's what we're going to be talking about, the Texas Motorplex and the Stampede of Speed with Greg Anderson. 817-924-6821. Call Marvin if you want some coffee, hot sauce, spice rub. And those of you who have been listening to the Ignition Show to find out if my coffee ever arrived from American Airlines, we'll be doing an episode tonight, and the Patreons will be able to chime in. All right, it is time to bring on NHRA Pro Stock's winningest driver in history, Greg Anderson. Greg, you did it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Joe. Pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Very cool. But man, the struggle, right? They made it hard on you. It was not easy.
Well, it's supposed to be that way, right? Nobody said it'd be easy. And, I can think back to when I was trying to get 50 wins and then when I was trying to get 75 wins, it was a long, long dry spell in between, and it's like it would never happen. You just thought it would never happen and almost gave up on it. And poor NHRA would carry around that sign for, months at a time, 75 wins or 50 wins, whatever it was. And finally, when I got it done, they're like, thank you. We can stop hauling this sign around. So same thing the other day. We finally got it done. They can stop hauling that 98 win sign around. It's in the books. And, we can take it away from us, Joe.
Yeah, you've got PTSD on that sign. Like that was weighing on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, before we get going too far into this, because I do want to ask you about the race, though. Something happened yesterday. It was, NASCAR side of things, but you got HendrickCars.com on your car, and the milestone happened with that. And Mr. Hendrick has been involved this season, and it's been very exciting. They had a solemn milestone, the passing of Ricky Hendrick and so many in that family 17 years ago to the day yesterday, and they were actually able to go out there and get the win. And I just wanted to, bring it up here because you're flying those colors too, and you're now part of that family. Obviously, a solemn remembrance, 17 years, but just to see everybody talk about it and think about it, and now you are kind of involved in that family. What was it like to have that milestone and to be part of Rick Hendrick's storied racing career?
Well, it's pretty darn cool, Joe. And what really the neat part is people don't forget. Those were special people. Anybody in the Hendrick organization, and especially the Hendrick family, they're great people. They're just fantastic people, and they're people that nobody says a bad word about. And here we are 17 years later, and it feels like yesterday, and everybody's still, talking about the loss and feeling like it was just yesterday. So it's been a special year for Mr. Hendrick, having a HendrickCars.com and Ricky's paint scheme on Kyle Larson's car and my car. He's been able to witness a whole lot of wins with that paint scheme this year. I'm proud to wear the colors, and Kyle's obviously proud to wear the colors too. And the kid's just an absolute animal on the racetrack. He's incredible to watch. He's out of control, and he's making Rick Hendrick proud. And he's making it proud of the memory of his son. So really a special deal. And I'm just proud to be carrying the colors and being a small part of it, but a special year for Rick. And that's really cool.
Yeah, very, very much so. And it's great to see that synergy. And when you won the 98th, Kyle Larson put out a nice message for you. And I thought that was great, that cross-pollination that we're getting. And now Tony Stewart coming in on the nitro side, gearheads, engine guys, like they all want to make power, whether they're going straight or 500 miles. I do want to mention something that negative that also happened in our NHRA world yesterday. It's all over the news. Head Incorporated had a road accident with their hauler, and one of their guys, Dylan Cromwell, passed away. 2 others were injured. I just want to say it to the NHRA community. Boy, so many tragedies over the past couple of years at the track, off the track, around our community is we're being tested, but we'll all be together this weekend, and it's just going to be very tough. But I just want to mention for the viewers out there, I don't know if you had heard that one, Greg.
Yeah, I sure did, and it's obviously a sad day. And what people maybe kind of lose sight of, Joe, is for us to go out and win all these races and win championships, it takes an entire team, and probably the most important part is that truck driver that gets the truck to the racetrack. It's a heck of a job. I used to do it for a lot of years, and it's probably the toughest part of the whole operation. And obviously, you can't race if that hauler and all that equipment doesn't get to a racetrack safely. And it's just, there's a lot of landmines out there on the way to a racetrack. And unfortunately, a bad accident happened yesterday, and we lost a heck of a young talent, a young kid, and just a sad story. But that's, it's part of the whole operation. You don't have these races go on without these great truck drivers. And they're just, it's a hell of a risk every race they go to with these rigs. And unfortunately, we lost one yesterday. Sad day.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? I think I didn't know Dylan real well. I've seen him out there, and we've exchanged words occasionally, like I do with so much people. But it really makes me want to, I wish we had more time when no one was working to just spend with each other and have a good time out there, because everyone's always hustling. It's very tough. But we'll move on. He's a racer. He wants us to talk racing. So let's talk about Dallas, the Stampede of Speed. What an event. It was like 15 days long. You were the number 1 qualifier, and you had to go against Marty Robertson in the first round. He went red, and that was kind of a harbinger of things to come. Take me back to the Stampede of Speed in that race. You were trying to get that number 98. You had tied it out there in Reading, and it was kind of a unique event because we had 4 qualifying.
It was. We had 4 qualifying events. We had a big autograph signing on Thursday night, and really the whole week was, a test session on Wednesday, a whole lot of things going on all week. It was just an exciting event, and it brings you back to, a few years back, the way events used to be. So it was great to be at it. It was a great atmosphere the whole weekend around, and just felt great even when the race started, and had some great qualifying runs and earned a lot of bonus points. And then, as you said, matched up against Marty Robinson first round, and he went red, but barely went red, and he made a heck of a run in the race car. I think the best run he's ever made. He did a great job of driving the car, and he was very proud. I was proud of him for the effort he put in. He could have very easily sent me home there. So, if it wasn't for 100th or so on the other side of the tree, he would have got me. And an impressive job. So he's come a long ways, and obviously he's going to be a threat, going down the rest of the season and into next year. So proud of him.
Excellent. No, great stuff. Hey, can you tilt your camera down a little bit, your laptop? Just a little. There it is. Up. Okay, up a little. Because I just want to see. Right, perfect. There it is. Crazy ODD, right? Like everybody else. OCD, like everybody else in drag racing. It's like it's got to be at least in the neighborhood. So
Makes me up, Joe.
Matt Hartford, second round. One of the clients out there. And if memory serves me right, He rattled the tires and has been having a bit of a tough go of it. Hartford has, but that's the way it is. You have you got to the semifinals through that round and had to run Troy Coughlin Jr., a very familiar race. And they had a bit of a tough time. So tell me how you're feeling as this is going down, where you guys are able to go down the racetrack when others are not.
Well, you're on pins and needles every round, Joe. Anybody can beat anybody out there. Obviously, Matt can run fast, and Troy Coughlin had run, I think, low ET both first and second round. So he had lane choice over me. He was low ET the run before, and I think even first round. So, and cutting great lights, and I was struggling a little bit on the tree. So I was in trouble. I was probably more the underdog there than anything, and I got a break there when they shook the tires and had a problem. So it's not always who you race, it's when you race them. You got to race the right person at the right time. You got to have luck. And I had a lot of luck on that Sunday, and that's what made my path to the final. A lot of great luck made my path to the final. And there's Chris Pagaha, who's absolutely just killing everybody on the tree all day long. And I'm having one of the worst days I've had on a tree for a while. So he was once again probably I would think the favorite in the final there, and I got lucky again.
Yeah. You know what? Chris is great because he's not afraid to say things that are abrasive, right? He's like, well, I beat him in qualifying. Maybe we'll get him again. Like, I love Chris because he wears it all right on his sleeve, right? And he did go up there and he went red. And I thought, you know what? You hadn't caught really any breaks. Sometimes you got to catch a break, right? Like, no breaks for Greg. They've been just hammering you and loving every moment of it. And here you got a couple of red lights en route to win number 98.
Yep, I definitely withdrew a few out of the luck bank this weekend, but I guess it'd been a long dry spell. Hadn't been able to make any withdrawals in a while. So I guess it all evens out in the long run, and that's why you can't get too frustrated when things go against you for whatever reason. So it's just the way it is, and good Lord, he wanted to make me sweat a little bit over this 98th one, and I certainly did. But he definitely carved the way for me on this day.
People out there checking in. Lauren saying congratulations on becoming the all-time NHRA winner. Monica, congrats on a fantastic achievement. Jim, 2 more races, 2 more wins, 100 wins, done deal. See, no, they're never satisfied, Greg.
No problem. Yeah. Well, that would certainly be cool. Don't get me wrong, Joe. That would be cool, but that's asking a lot with the group of competitors we got out there in pro stock for me to go win 2 more races this year. It's odds are certainly against me, but that's why we're going. We're absolutely going to do that, and we're going to try and do that. But we'll see what the good Lord has in store for us. And there's a whole lot of people that without a doubt right now definitely want to see me lose. So we'll see. We'll see what we got. We'll see what we can do. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of ladder playing going on at the last 2 events, and I fully expect that. I showed people how you could do that in the past, so I certainly got to expect it in return. I have no problem with it, so we'll see what develops.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you bring that up. I'm just putting the finishing touches on my National Dragster column, definitely the final one before we know who the champions are. And I immediately thought of that, right, here we go, shoe on the other foot, perhaps, as Elite's got a lot of cars and they can send some flyers at you. It doesn't even have to be Erica, but if we get down to the finals and Erica need be, we know that they're willing to try it. To me, that was the most talked about single round of pro stock this century, to use a big term, the last 20 years. If that wasn't, I don't know what was, and maybe ever, because of all the antics and the hype and the way it went down. So here we are a couple years later. It could go the other way, or who knows what's going to happen, but just the interest and the excitement, that's what's got me going.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. There's certainly going to be, things tried. People are going to try and get that done, but half the battle is getting placed in that right spot on the ladder. That's not exactly easy to do when you got 16 cars that are all separated by, 2 to 3 hundredths of a second. It's very difficult to kind of pick your spot on the ladder. So tough job. And basically I got lucky when I was able to pull that off a couple of years ago. And, it was just, I tried as hard as I could, but still, it took a lot of luck to get Glad into that spot and have Erica get where she got. So it's you can't just pencil it in and say, well, I want to race Erica first round, or she wants to race me, or whoever wants to race whoever. It's not that easy in this class. It's just too tight.
Yeah, that was the miracle of the deal. That was the luck of the deal. And I doubt you're going to share exactly how you did it. But I mean, really, it's just pushing the clutch and hope, right? Like pushing the clutch after 1,000 foot and kind of hope.
I can sit here and say all I want. It was pure skill, but that'd be a lie. It was a lot of luck, Joe. I definitely picked my spot and hope for a lot of luck on top of that, and I got the luck.
Okay, so what'd you think of this guy? You got to hang out with
That's Oliver. That's Oliver.
Yeah, he drools a lot, though, man. I gotta say,
I don't know. Whatever he does is okay with me because I'd hate to get him mad.
That's true. And he seemed pretty docile. Now, you were on the phone here making a call. Tamara sent me this photograph. I'm assuming it's of great importance. I'm guessing that's Mr. H on the other end of the line. That
was Mr. H, and he was actually standing in Victory Circle here at Charlotte when Kyle Larson was pulling into Victory Lane. So it was kind of funny. His PR guy, Brian Johnson, handed him the phone. As Kyle was pulling into Victory Lane, he handed him the phone and said, "You're out of car one today too, boss. You had a pretty good day."
Wow, that is awesome, and
kind of neat.
Well, it's, who knows what lies ahead, championship wise. So let's talk Vegas. Very excited to be able to go to this race. Very excited that so many rumors and stuff, and we got this in Pomona in the next few weeks. SEMA in between. This is a track you had success at, but Erica has had success there too. So what's it going to take to come out of the box strong there?
Well, the way I see it, either her or I are going to have to win to gain points on the other. That's just the way it's going to be out there. We're both going to be tough. We're both going to have great race cars. Yes, we got a lot of roadblocks in our way, both of us, but one of us is going to have to win to gain, I think, a single point on anybody else. So you're going to have to go there planning on going the distance. Otherwise, you're going to lose ground in the points, and I don't want to do that. Obviously, my goal is to go there and try and widen the points where it's not such a complete sweat at Pomona, but I think we all know better than that. That's probably not going to happen, and it's going to go down to the wire at Pomona. So we'll see how the weekend plays out. My goal, obviously, is to go the distance, Joe, and get the 99th win, but there's 15 other cats out there that want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, a couple of those cats are on your own team. I want your opinion. I put a tweet out last week with this artwork: Josh Hart versus Dallas Glenn, Rookie of the Year. You're a pro stock guy, and Dallas is on your team. I'm personally advocating, like, if they remain tied, I don't see how you call one of those guys the loser in the group, honestly. Like, that's what I don't understand. Now, if Josh were to win another race, or if Dallas were to win another race, or even go to a final or something like that, then I can understand. But if the stalemate remains, I don't know. What say you, though? Talk a little bit more about Dallas, because let's face it, the pro stock guy is at a natural disadvantage to the top fuel guy. He is.
I think he is, no question about it, Joe. It's a little bit our big brother, the top fuel class, kind of our big brother. So that's an advantage right there. So yeah, I think to be even, Dallas has got to do a little more, which in my opinion, he has done a little more this year. So that probably brings him even. But I guess what it comes down to is they're even right now. Let's start over. We got 2 races to go. Who does the best job over the last 2 races? I think that should be your Rookie of the Year.
There it is. I think that's a very reasonable deal. And, who knows what lies ahead, and 2 races for everything. When you were up against it, the 98th thing, like, we talk about how you would feel it, like, rhetorically, do you, the getting nervous, the feeling it, like, this is it, the 98th, I want to win it, the championship, I want to win it, or have you successfully gotten rid of that feeling as you go?
I don't think I felt any different, because, like I said before, each race I go to try to win. That's why I go. That's anything else to me is just not successful. I don't go to try and make another point than my closest competitor points wise. I go to win the race, and that's the most important thing. And the cool thing is, when you do that, you get the most points. So it all comes together, and it was just fine to think about the record, because it was a win that would get the record. A win gets you the most points. So I'm going to stay with that thought process. I just go to win. That's what I want to do. And it's really no different than any other race. You're still there trying to win that event. That's what it's all about that day. And nobody remembers your last one. Nobody remembers if there's going to be a next one. There's no guarantee there'll ever be a next one. So you're there for that day. You live for that moment and for that race victory. And that's what we'll do this weekend.
Will Jason Line be traveling to Vegas and Pomona?
Yep. He's on the road again.
There it is.
Out of the shop 2 weeks in a row. He's going on the road again.
Wow. He must.
He's listening a little bit, Joe.
No, he's not. I could tell.
Don't tell him that, but I think he's missing it.
Well, he should miss it. That's where so many of his friends are. I mean, I know he's got cows.
I mean, honestly, how could you not?
How could you not? Right? Like your friends are out there, everybody who cares about him. I know he's got goats and cows and all kinds of animals. He's on a farm out there, but really, though, especially being in a championship fight once again. Greg, thank you very much for coming on WFO Radio on a Monday. So out of the ordinary, so unusual. I know you're traveling later in the week, but I wanted to highlight this win. This is just, if you love pro stock, this has been something to follow for a long time. WJ 97 wins. Like, that was amazing. Bob Glidden 85 wins. Those are major milestones. The next one that lies ahead is obviously 100. That will put you in the rarest of air with John Force and Frank Manzo, Rampy and Fletcher, and that's it. Like, that would be insane. But who knows? Next year, this year, whenever it happens, we wish you the best of luck. Good luck in your endeavor for the championship, and thank you for spending time with us, most importantly.
Thanks for having me on today, Joe. It's an honor. Your show's awesome. It's an honor to be on, and I guess the main thing is if I find my way to get on, it means I must have done something good. So I guess I did something good this week, and I'll take the props and move on to the next one and see if we can find something new to talk about.
There you go. Good luck, GA. Greg, thank you very much. Appreciate you, and we'll see you in Vegas.
Thanks, Joe.
There he goes. Greg Anderson with us here on WFO Radio, pro stock winningest driver in history, right there from the dyno room at KB Racing, which is pretty cool in and of itself. Thank you, Greg. And, it's not over yet. Like, that's the thing. I'm making the point. I'm about to click send on the final Joe Goes WFO National Dragster column, I think, of the year. Maybe they'll give me one right before the holidays. But yeah, it's not over yet. And they know it. And Elite knows it. And 80 points just doesn't feel safe. And that's not just true for pro stock. Like, over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. And there's a lot yet to come. Early round matchups, playing the ladder game, swinging for the fences, trying to get that round 1, round 2 matchups, and in flyers like Troy Coughlin, like at Greg, like there's a lot that happens. And you know who knows this the best? I think the Lucas Oil Series competitors, and even more so probably local bracket racers who run for track championships. They know that no one can do a job for you as well as you can do it. And Reinhardt says it all the time too. You want to beat somebody needs to lose. You got to go make that happen, as opposed to hoping someone else does it, because, the racing gods, they don't like that. The racing gods like that kind of initiative and tenacity. That's what they like. And so, who knows? 2 races to go. And just what he said about Dallas and Josh Hart. Speaking of which, if you want to weigh in on that, Josh Hart and Dallas Glenn, Rookie of the Year, on WFO Radio's Twitter account. Retweet for Josh Hart, like for Dallas Glenn. I kind of copied something I've seen other people do in the past, and it's going okay, but I also want to acknowledge that maybe it's a little unfair. Initially, I thought, retweeting for Josh Hart would be an advantage for Josh Hart because the Josh Hart people would share it amongst themselves and they, birds of a feather. But that is probably not true because people are so chintzy with the retweets. You know what I mean? Is this worth retweeting to my people, my 6 people? I don't know. Like is real easy. You just like it. You don't have to involve anybody else in your opinion. And so, but it's still close. So weigh in and retweet the tweet because, Steve Brenwell did this incredible artwork. Come on. Look at that, man. It's a fight. Everybody's so friendly. And I just want to advocate for co-champions, assuming nothing changes. I just don't think anyone deserves to be called loser here. And it's not drag racing. It's not on the track. We want to bracket race them. 2 out of 3. I'm cool with that. But if everything stays the same, I think a historic co-rookie of the year could be worth something to everybody. I know. No, it's drag racing. Everybody needs there has to be a loser. All right, let's see what else people have to say. Get your comments in the comment section, guys. This is WFO. Put your comments in the comment section. What a race weekend. We're going to have an ignition show later. And WFO VIP listener members, the Patreons, are going to be able to chime in on the show and watch it recorded live. It's audio only. I'm an audio only guy going back to my talk radio days and podcasting. Yesterday, whatever, close. was the 20th anniversary of the iPod. I saw a news story about it. 20 years ago, the iPod was released. And it was a big, big thing until these came out, which is like iPod Plus, phone and internet and everything you ever needed. Camera, iPod Plus. It has a camera, but it's also a phone and a computer and a scanner and a communicator and, the ends to just about every, person's professional career. It's all of it. Podcasting 20 years ago was not even a thing. And now here, just to scant 20 years later, which is not really a lot of time, depending on how you want to look at things, it is. And so we do a show, audio only, podcast, where we're going to talk Formula One in Austin, Texas. How excited we are about Miami. We're going to talk about the NASCAR finals and how Kyle Larson gets out there and gets the job done again, and just how exciting things have been. We're going to talk drag racing, a lot of different drag racing stuff. Great. The Patreons get a chance to see all that, and they're also part of our advisory board here on WFO Radio. So like when I'm deciding what the next item to put in our online store is, like they're going to get to decide. Like sweatshirts and hoodies are up there. And, someone bought a coffee mug. What? It's all up there. It's kind of cool. And the best part is I don't have to deal with any of the shipping. There it is. That's real talk, guys. Truth. Giving it to you straight. The dealing with, sending stuff places. Oh, I forgot to show Greg this. Something always slips through the cracks. Something always slips through the cracks. Who else sponsors WFO? In addition to our Patreons. And if you want to become a Patreon, go to WFOradio.com or patreon.com/WFO Radio. And you can decide for yourself what you want to do, what you want to put in there. Marvin Rodak, he's decided to support WFO Radio by being a sponsor. His coffee, hot sauce, spice rub. Everything is great. The guy is up at 4 a.m. roasting coffee every day. He's in his 70s. And he's a drag racer. He likes to turn wrenches, work on cars. It's been amazing. Marvin Rodak making special blends for teams out there. It's been great. 817-924-6821. Call Marvin. Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology. Trackside Tech Talk, guys. Trackside Tech Talk, Vegas. Final one of the year. Come on out. Be a part of it. Hang out in Hartford's Pit, 1 o'clock. That's the time that I got. TotalSeal.com and the Hidden Horsepower podcast. Definitely check it out. Write us a review. Podcast listeners. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Start your education at full speed. Samtech.edu. They've got motorsport EFI tuning, blockhead CNC programs. Check them out. And then Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure at frankhawley.com. Holidays coming. Nothing available. Get a gift that is an experience that will last a lifetime instead of some trinket, some chintzy piece of garbage. Get them something of genuine value, a heartwarming experience, and time with Frank Hawley, who is, one of the most advanced thinkers in our sport. I think it's a genius idea, and I have it every year right around this time. All right, let's see what everybody said. And a shout out to our friends at Nitro Fish for the 10th anniversary t-shirt and WFO gear. Really appreciate them. And hopefully some new things to come over there as well. All right, let's see what everybody has to say. Reinhardt, 1 o'clock. On Tuesday, Ron Capps Wednesday. I'd like to get Justin Ashley in on this deal. Have you figured out that these are our Dallas winners? Yeah, I'd like to get Justin Ashley in on the deal a little bit. All right, let's see what. Line them up, Sportsman Tree, best 2 out of 3. I was thinking about that. Like, can we give Dallas like a 660 index, and we give Josh like a 380 index, and we handicap them and send them, right? Like, that could be cool. That's not happening, guys. It's not happening. This is a first non-travel Monday for Joe. Must feel weird. Felt very weird being home, going to my 30-year high school and what is it called, reunion, which I will discuss a little bit on the Ignition show if people are interested. Seeing all these people again, and it's like, hey, there's that person, except they're old. Am I old? That kind of deal. It's pretty interesting. Oh, this guy wanted a dyno pull from Greg. Yeah, not happening. We're not going to see stuff wheeled in there, right? But yes, being home on a Monday is kind of interesting and well appreciated. See what Jim says. I've been leaning more to one guy over the other based strictly on personality. In my opinion, there is a clear winner there. I don't even know if that's true. I have interacted with both of them. And I think Dallas is great. Dallas is a bracket racer who chased his dream and made it to the highest levels. You can make a great case. Dallas been to 4 finals this year, but Josh reached an impasse, made it happen, bought a team. He's employing all those guys. They're out there. Like, there's just so many things, so many very difficult things. Again, nobody at this moment, if Josh Hart wins the last 2 races, it's a very clear winner. Josh Hart wins a race and Dallas doesn't, or vice versa. I think that's what you got to go with. If it remains a stalemate, I think there's no shame in saying they're rookie of the year. And I'll give you an example, going back to Ryan Newman and Jimmy Johnson in NASCAR. Like, really, Jimmy Johnson lost rookie of the year to Ryan Newman that year? Ryan Newman won a bunch of races, but I don't know. Very tough decision. I hope I can catch Ignition tonight. I hope you can too. Monica's a Patreon. She came up with the yearly membership idea, part of the advisory board. I'm going with Dallas because he can do it all in a pro stock car, kind of like Bob Glidden, Warren Johnson, and Greg Anderson. Dallas can do it all. I don't know who this is. Is he building engines? Look, Dallas does Drive the Stripe with us. You watch him on there. Dallas Glenn on Drive the Stripe from Texas Motorplex, along with Kid Chaos and eventual Super Gas winner Austin Williams. A lot of the intellect came out there. Not mine necessarily, but theirs. Oh, look, placed my order the other day. Looking forward to a new hoodie. Yeah, that's it. You cold weather folks, you Arctic folks have never really had specialized WFO gear in your name. Like, oh my gosh, it's going to be cold. What do we do? What are we going to do? And now there's some stuff. This is an alternate logo that you're seeing. This is another alternate logo. And Steve Brenwald from Brenwald Media has been tasked and has jumped into it by putting some logos up there. And it will get better. It will get better over time. Try to, recreate some stuff from back in the day and get some new stuff going. But there's a whole plan. There's a whole plan for all of us. Timmy Roach, what's up, Timmy? Good to see you, Joe. Good to see you, Tim. Tim and I used to drag race together at Miami Hollywood Speedway way back in the day. Timmy. Dallas would win that hands down. Handicap Sportsman Tree. They got to go on a pro tree. they can't. These are pro racers going for pro rookie of the year. We're going on pro tree. You can't have Josh Hart sit on a 5/10 Sportsman Tree after waiting for Dallas 3 seconds. Like, that's just unfair. Pro tree, right? It's me. LOL. Exactly. I prefer the share the title idea, but if not, then DG gets my vote. Well, that's very interesting. Hey, Nick Mione. Great show, Joe. Great seeing you in Bristol. Nick and his brother Chase came up to Bristol, and they were in the Thunder Valley Club, and we went and scouted out that super... I'm not telling you guys about that. Never mind. They got a cool VIP area. That's all I'll say. We all had a great time in Thunder Valley. It was awesome. I left out Larry Morgan on my do-it-all list. Yes, Larry Morgan is a do-it-all guy. Well, all those old school guys were do-it-all guys. Like, here in podcast universe, right? Do-it-all guy. Like, I'm doing it all because there's nobody else to do it. And even if there was, I don't want them here. I'd rather be by myself, right? All right, everybody. That is going to do it. Appreciate all of you. Thanks to Greg Anderson for coming on the show. Remember, Ignition, later on tonight. You guys will hear it tomorrow morning. Make it part of your Tuesday morning commute. It's fun. There's humor. We talk about various stuff. Like, I saw Dune. Like, I'll give my review of Dune. I saw the Dave Chappelle comedy thing. It's amazing the stuff you can watch on television when you're home. Like, wow. Mind freak. Right? Like, you can keep up with the football, the Miami Dolphins. They played a good game. They got whooped anyway. They're 1-6. University of Miami Hurricanes. Right? The Red Sox are out. Red Sox fans. Shame. Shame on you, Red Sox fans. I know this is kind of last week, but shame. You guys let the Asterix beat you and go to the World Series. You did not hold up the honor of the American League East. You know, Red Sox fans, that's all I got to say. You had it. And the Atlanta Braves over the Dodgers. Wow. So the Braves and the Asterisks. Yay, baseball. And go NHRA. But yeah, we'll be talking about all of it on the Ignition Show. So those of you who are Patreons, you can watch. And everybody else, you can listen after the fact. Thanks to Greg Anderson. This has been like, what a grind for Greg to go out there and just keep banging his head against the wall. Just banging his head against the wall to try to win number 97 and number 98. The next up is number 99 and 100. And when will they come and how will they come and will they come? We just don't know. Alan Reinhart, 1 o'clock tomorrow, Tuesday. We'll see you then. Ron Capps later in the week on Wednesday. And maybe even some additional surprises. Thank you very much, guys. Share the show. We'll see you next time. WFO.